Well, it's 7 o'clock, and I will just warmly welcome you all to this last seminar from EWF, European Weightlifting Federation Technical Committee. My name is Tina Beiter, and the last online seminar today is the athlete's perspective. What is good to be prepared for before the competition, during the competition, and what when everything stops and you're not an athlete anymore, what can you do then? And for this, we have invited a very special guest star. But before we do that, I would like to welcome the Technical Committee of European Weightlifting Federation. We have Patrick Helgesson from Sweden. We have Trygve Dun from Norway. We have Georgeta Jon from Romania. And we have Arayik Alavartyan from Armenia. So before I give the floor to Natalia, I would like to welcome our President of European Weightlifting Federation, Mr. Antonio Confliti. Would you like to say a few words? Maybe he just has a little problem with locking on, so I will give the floor to you, Milan Mihailovic, our General Secretary, please.
Good evening, Tina. Good evening, all. It is more than pleasure to see you again. So we showed great commitment to our sport. It is more than great to have a seminar in a period of 2 months, and still so many people are interested. It shows we needed it, and good luck. Good luck, Natalia. It's your seminar now, and thank you, Tina, and thank you all ITOs.
Thank you so much, Milan, and I will just see if our president has joined the meeting.
He has a problem to access.
Good evening, Mr. President. Would you like to say a few words before we start this seminar?
Thank you so much, Tina. Thank you so much to your effort, to your team to organize this series, very interesting series. Tonight will be very interesting because we can explain, we can introduce much. I hope will be more athletes, because the athletes should understand that after their retirement is not finished. They need to be involved in either in weightlifting. I was pushing, or I was saying EWF to me in the first place every time, the EWF. I'm happy to see also other colleagues, other friends from abroad, Europe. Thank you so much, and good job.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. And yes, I see that we have a lot of participants abroad. So thank you so much for attending, and also thank you so much for all from Europe attending. So today is the last online seminar. As I told you, we have had 4 online seminars for the ITOs, refereeing, the position of the jury, technical controller, and chief marshal position. And last week we had the coach perspective, what to prepare before and during the competition, and then what to be aware of with all the rules and regulations. It was a very fine seminar we had there. And now it's time for Natalia Prisiepa from Moldova to tell us a little bit about how it is to be an athlete, how to prepare before the competition and during the competition, and now when she has finished her career, what to do then. So please, Natalia, the floor is yours. And of course, I should say that if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and I will ask Natalia during the presentation. So please, Natalia.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Mr. Antonio. Today, we will be speaking about athletes' perspective before and during championship and after end of the career. So I will try to share the screen. And is it on?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you make it, yes, like this? Thank you.
You're welcome. So, as I said, athlete's perspective before and during championship and after end of the career. So we will speak about how to prepare as an athlete before championship, how to prepare as an athlete during championship, and the career transition of an athlete after retirement from sport. But first of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Natalia Prishepa. I'm from Moldova, and I've been lifting since 2008 until 2023. I've been 10 times national champion, competed in 9 senior European championship, been 8 in World Senior Championship, and bronze medalist in total snatch, clean and jerk in Fjord in 2016. And same year I competed in Olympic Games. And this year it's been my last year as a professional athlete, and I've retired from sport. So in terms to be to compete in a competition, we know that we have to provide whereabouts, yeah, and it's 3 months before championship. And if you are in registering testing pool, you have to submit it quarterly, yeah. And then we all know that we have to keep it updated and change it if required, because sometimes we need to go maybe out, maybe we have to go with family somewhere. So it is very important to update that information, and just in case if the officer comes, they are, you know, the information given is correct. And of course, every athlete is strictly liable for the substances found in their samples. And everything you take, it's your responsibility to know what you're taking, because we have many sources in the internet where we could check if we are not sure. And then always make sure you know what you're taking, because it's only your responsibility. You don't want to get into trouble. Second, training. For me, it's very important to follow the training program, but also listen to my body, because no one can know how am I feeling. Am I tired? Anything hurts? Anything happen and I'm worried? So I always try to speak with my coach if something is wrong, so we can adjust the program. Also, in my opinion, disciplines make you successful, because motivation, it comes and goes. But if you have discipline, you will always come and do what you have to do. So make sure discipline is on top of everything else. I always like to keep diary and record my progress, because we go at that point where we start dubbing ourselves and do not see the progress. So I always can go back and check what I've done, and oh, actually, yeah, I am progressing. So it's nice to have a book where you write all your success and all your failures as well, because sometimes it doesn't have to be a personal record, but if you're not missing the same weight which you were missing a few weeks ago, it's also a progress. And also I recommend to anyone, and I think everyone knows that, to fuel your body correct and do not neglect recovery is very important in terms to stay injury free. And of course, we have to maintain our body weight, because we have body weight categories. So we have to be maybe a little bit above, but I don't think we have to be under. So do not give anything for our opponents. So just we have to have the right body weight. And of course, it's the mental health. I think it's crucial here because we need to stay relaxed and positive, try to overcome self-doubt, and be realistic, and don't put too much pressure on yourself, and also train your mind, because when it comes to the competition, you start doubting yourself, your confidence is going somewhere else for a walk, I don't know. So we need to train our mind, and for me, I found
Magari lei ci ha avuto la tua stessa idea. Senti, quello sta lassù, però io qua mi devo
and I
trovare un
found
passatempo.
some techniques and methods for me.
Ok, vede, come occhio che non vede, cuore che non duole.
Just a second, Luca. Luca, can you take off your microphone? Thank you.
Thank
Sorry, Natalia.
Sorry.
So, in terms to train your mind, I use visualization a lot because it helps me to concentrate. And also I read psychological books, and they are quite good as well. But you might find something what is working for you. I don't say that is necessarily yours, yeah. So, day before championship, I always make sure in advance that my bag is ready, so I don't have to stress about the little things. So my bag is ready, my shoes are ready, my belt, wrist wraps, I don't know, knee sleeves, my national jackets. So everything, I put it in the bag just day before I compete. Of course, I need passport and accreditation, because without this one, I can't compete. And again, be calm, stay positive. That's all we need before competition. And of course, body weight. Always check your body weight so you're not in a trouble when you go to weigh in. Morning of the competition. Usually we know when we're competing, it's morning or it's afternoon, and you have to wait maybe all day. And if it's is the case, I will carry out some light stretching, because I don't like to feel stiff when I compete. So I usually will do some stretching and move a little bit around. I won't stay only in bed and wait till evening when I will compete. I will check my body weight if necessary. And if it's allowed, I will have a nice breakfast. And of course, I will eat something and drink with what will not upset my stomach. I also bring at the competition all the time like a lunch box with me, because I don't eat meat, and then sometimes the boxes are given at the competition that they contain meat. So I like to have a box, and I go and just grab some food which I take with me at the competition. So if I'm hungry, I know that I have something to eat. And of course, stay positive. Don't think about competition. We don't want to burn out before. So I try to not think about competition at all. When arriving at the competition venue, be in time for the bus. We know that waiting starts 2 hours before. But sometimes we have unexpected situation, like it happened to me in 2013 in Albania. So we were waiting for the bus to go to the wait-in, and we was looking at the clock, no bus. And then finally bus arrived, and suddenly the driver decided that he needs to go in a lunch break. So no one of us were going by the bus. So I saw my opponents taking the taxi. So I said to my coach, well, we probably need to take taxi because we are going to be late. So we took the taxi, and we came at the competition venue by the taxi, because for some reason we have this situation. So you have to be prepared. So when the wait-in, you have to wait to be called for it, and try to undress most of the clothes outside the wait-in room. We don't want to stay there and undress like a half an hour and make every other athlete wait for that. So we just need to be quick as much as possible. Make sure you have your passport ready, because they have to check your identity. Be polite, and as I said earlier, move fast, and don't make anyone wait too long. And as we know, we have a new rule. We have to wait in the undergarments. And for this one, I will suggest you to buy a special one for waiting as much as light as is possible. So you still wear it, but it doesn't weigh too much, maybe 50 grams, maybe 100. And in terms of if you need to lose your weight, you know that your undergarment is light enough and it's not extra so much to losing the weight. And then after waiting, we are moving in the athlete area. There would be some couches, or I don't know, maybe some place on the floor, some mats where you can just rest. And I usually have some food over there, and I lay down, listen to music or play games, relax. But I try again not think about not think about the competition, because I'm a very emotional person, and if I think too early, I'm getting burnt out, so I don't need that. And then when it's close to the competition, I get changed into competition clothes and move to the warm-up area. In the warm-up area, the platforms will have the numbers, and the numbers on the platform is equal with your bibs number. So it's usually your bibs number and the platforms, you take the same one. But if you're not sure, there will be a technical controller who will show you your platform. So there is nothing to worry about that. And then your coach will tell you when to start the warm-up. So don't be worried about that. It's their job. They are there to count the attempts and make sure you are warm right before you're competing. And then presentation. We are lining up on stage for introduction. And for me, it is very important not to just go on the stage and just be presented. I look around, I make myself familiar with the area. I try to find where is located the athlete timing clock. I check the surface on the platform, sometimes even with my shoe, to see if it's not slippery and if it feels all right. Yes, I do that. And I also try to find a spot where I'm going to look during the lift, because I have to concentrate myself and do not get distracted by anything else. So yes, all these things I'm doing during the introduction, and it helps me with performing on the stage. And then back in a warm-up area, make sure your outfit is correct. And usually if you get usually you know what is correct. Yeah, there are one color leggings, the singlet, but if you're not sure, there will be technical controller, and it's better to ask than to be called for your first attempt and be stopped and saying you to remove one or other thing. So just make sure before you start to warm up, ask technical controller, is this okay, or maybe this is not okay, and you will be told. So they're there to help. And then follow your coach instructions. We are always following our coach instructions. But also I will advise you to keep an eye who is called, because again, happened to me a very interesting situation in 2016 in Fjord. So I was warming up for my clean and jerk, and my coach went to the marshal table to change my first attempt. And I saw the clock was going and going and going, and 30 seconds passed, and suddenly I lost my attempt. And then my coach asked me, "Oh, why didn't you tell me that the clock was keep going?" I said, "Well, I didn't know you went there to change the weight." So what happened, actually, he changed the weight, but not on my athlete card, but on someone else's card. And then I lost my first attempt. So just make sure you keep an eye who is called, and if it's you, just remind your coach, "Oh, it's me. Did you change the weight? Oh, it's me." You know, it's better just to prevent, because we are all human and we all can make mistakes, but it's better to prevent it. And then when you hear your name called, you know that you have 1 minute to start the lift, to make sure, I just make sure that I'm close enough to the stage. I don't like to run from somewhere else to the entrance on the platform and then rushing everything else. So I make sure always I have my thumb tape, and if I need my wrist straps, and I have everything. I even put the chalk on, because I like when I go on the stage, I just stay there and concentrate to make lift. I'm not thinking about, oh, I need some chalk or something else. But of course, you will have chalk by the stage. So if you really need it, just make sure you have it there.
Natalia, can I just comment on something?
Yes, please.
It really sounds like you are well prepared, and you are trying to avoid to be stressed or to burn out, as you say. Is it difficult to do that? To be, or is it just now your routine and you know what to do? But I can also ask in another way, when did you find out that you needed to do all this to make great competitions?
Well, if I would be told earlier that I have to train my mind, probably maybe there would be some different outcomes. But I found it after I had the surgery on my elbow, so I started dubbing myself like 2020, 21, 22, 23. Yeah. These years I started dubbing myself that I can't do it anymore. My elbow is wonky. Why am I doing it? So I started to find for some techniques and methods which will help me. So I was into very psychological books for self-motivation. And then I found that visualization is just working the best for me, because when I go to bed, I can just close my eyes and just imagine my own lifts, my best technique. It's easy. And also I try to leave those emotions on the stage. So it helped me to be very, very confident in my last competition, which I found that if people would know about them, they wouldn't be so worried about competition, that they have to work on it. This is very important, that it's not just about only making your body strong. You have to make your mind also strong, because strong mind is everything in weightlifting, apparently.
It is, of course, and you seem to be prepared for all the obstacles that could happen. You know, the bus is not coming. Okay, we just take a taxi. I put all my things together the night before, so I won't be stressed about that. So it's really good to hear. So yeah.
Thank
So
you.
I'll just thank you for your answer.
Thank you. And then we go on the stage. So as I said, I had an injury. I had an surgery on my elbow, and we have that rule where an athlete who for any reason cannot fully extend the elbows must report, display that fact to all on-duty referees, as well as the jury prior to the start of competition, and may remind them of this fact prior to the start of each lift when on the platform. This is the sole responsibility of the athlete, and the jury might call the competition doctor to examine it. So when I go on the platform, I always show my elbows, but I not only show my elbows like that, but I also showing that it goes in a lockout, like a kind of press out. So I make sure the referee and jury know what happens to my elbows when I lift. So they don't count that one as a press out, because it's actually a orthopedic problem. So, and if you have dodgy elbows, like they are locking out like that one, make sure you show those them and prepare the referee for your problem, because we don't want to miss the attempt just because your lockout is kind of similar with a press out or something like that. So the referee and jury are all aware of this.
We have a question that for competitions abroad, how early do you arrive, and how many training days do you have before your competition day while there? Thank you.
For in our team is for everyone is different, but for me, I always ask to come at the competition as late as possible. I don't like to be there for too long because I see everyone competing and everyone, the atmosphere makes me very nervous. So I usually will arrive like 2, maximum 3 days before competition. So that depends the time I arrive. If it's early morning and I couldn't train home, we will have usually maybe a rest, and then in the evening we will train. I know we have a schedule, but it's not always working training schedule with the time when we arrive. So we try to make everything possible to attend the training session. But if we are arriving in the evening, we usually will have a training home, and only after that we will fly to the competition. And then it's usually maybe 1 or 2 session maximum, like a little warm up before competition. That's all. So because I don't personally, me, I don't like to be there like 5 days or a week before I compete, because I'm getting very tired emotionally. So it's better to avoid that for me. But my teammates, some of them, they are fine. So I don't say that it's working for everyone the same.
Thank you so much. And last week we heard that the training schedule is being used in many different ways by the coaches. So
yeah, we have to adapt it, because sometimes if I arrive early morning and I'm quite tired and my session is scheduled early morning, it's impossible to do it. So we try to make deals with the people from the venue. So, and after that, we all know when we lift the weight, we have to become motionless in all parts of the body. Arms and legs are fully extended. Feet and barbell are in line and parallel to the plane of the trunk. And stay focused and don't mistake the crowd with down signal. Again, it happened to me in Moscow. At the European Championship, where I lifted my weight and suddenly I heard that crowd, whoa, everyone was cheering me up. And I thought, okay, that's it. So I dropped the barbell, but actually there wasn't a down signal. I heard down signal when barbell was flying on the platform. So I was, oh my God, what have I done? So I lost the attempt just because I wasn't focused enough and I mistaken the crowd with the down signal. So stay focused, it's very important. Listen to the down signal and even stay longer there for a half a second, and only after that drop the barbell. And be a well-coached athlete. Still try to attain the final motionless position, even if you heard the down signal, because sometimes we are still shaking, and then you hear the down signal. So it might be a good lift, it might be a not good lift. So make sure you stay until you are motionless, and it doesn't take anything to stay another half second. So then losing the attempt, it might be a good lift at the end.
So Natalia, there has been a lot in the medias regarding, for instance, Maddie Rogers' lift at the Pan Am Games, where she was obviously not in control, but she got a down signal, meaning that some of the referees might have given her a good lift. They might have seen a mistake. But what you are saying is that don't drop the barbell until you feel that you are under control, because things can happen. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, because sometimes we are all human, and sometimes you can get the signal down, but maybe there is not actually clearly seeing you are motionless. Just make sure you are motionless. You don't want to lift that weight again. So if there is a chance to save that lift, try and do that.
It's very good. And what about if you you think that you're completely motionless, you're in control, everything is going the right way, but you still don't get a down signal? What on earth do you do then?
Well, I still try to wait a little bit longer, and if there isn't any signal, I try to look at the front referee in front of me. They might give like a signal with their arm, because sometimes the system might have some glitch or something. So yeah, make sure you have that signal. Maybe not the sound one, maybe you have the arm with the down signal. So make sure you see it.
And could it be because your legs weren't fully extended?
Yes, it could be. So make sure your legs are fully extended and you are in line and parallel to the plane of the trunk. Yeah.
Because we often see that the lifter thinks everything is okay, and the referees are waiting, for instance, to get the legs fully extended. And the coaches are in the coach zone and they are yelling, draw, and then somebody sees it, stretch your legs, extend your legs, and then whoops, and then you get the down signal.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then during the competition, as I said, stay focused and enjoy the competition, because if you don't enjoy the competition, why are you doing the competition? This is the most important thing, enjoyment. And don't be tied to any outcome, because if you are focused to do a certain result and you don't do it, you will be disappointed. So just don't do that. Just enjoy the moment and do the competition. We don't need disappointment at the end of it. And then after competition, we have anti-doping procedure. So you must stay in the warm-up area until the competition has finished. But if you don't want to stay, you have to find the chaperones or anti-doping officer and ask if you can leave. And they usually will tell you you can leave, or you will be notified that you've been selected for doping control. And if you've been selected for doping control, you just follow them and provide the urine and blood samples. It depends. Could be only urine, could be urine and blood. It's up to them. And things which I don't do before competition. It's only for me. I don't know. Maybe for someone it will work, but I don't say that it works for everyone. I don't walk a lot the day before competition, because I don't want my legs being tired. My calves are getting stiff very easily, so I make sure I don't walk a lot the day before competition. I try to not have a bath or sauna before I compete either, because I don't like being too relaxed. When I lift, I want to be strong and not like, relaxing and shaking all over the places. But sometimes athletes must have a sauna, maybe in terms to making the weight. So I don't know. Thankfully, I didn't have to do that. But well, as I said, it works for everyone differently. I don't say that it certainly have to work for you as well. Other thing I don't do, I don't watch my teammates competing, nor anyone else. Again, as I said, I'm a very emotional person, and if I see people competing at the competition where I have to compete, it makes me worried. So my heart goes too fast, and I have to think about competition, and I don't want to burn out, so I don't watch them competing. I compete, and then I rewatch I replay the competition, so I can see what they did at the competition. What I do, it's I follow the scoreboard, live scoreboard, so I can see what weights they lifted, but I don't watch it. And I also don't like to speak about the competition either. It also makes me worried, so I don't want to burn out. So no, that's a no for me. And my parents, my family, everyone knows that I don't speak about it. Please do not ask me because I will get very, very nervous. And then career transition after retirement from sport. It is something that will happen to every athlete, and nearly all of you will need to find another job after you retire. So prepare for retirement from sport as soon as it's possible. Maybe you only started weightlifting as a professional athlete. You already try to think about your retirement, what you will do after. And I encourage everyone to study along with your training, because you never know when your career will be finished, because you can get injured, you can be prepared for that, but it can stop very easily and very quick. So studies are very important. Yes, I have finished the Academy of Police, and I could work in the police. Probably it was hard work, combining studying there and training. I remember that I was crying that they will not let me go from in the first year, because it was strict as in army. And but yeah, I'm very, very stubborn person, and I finished the Academy of Police while doing professional weightlifting. And then, but competing at the high level made me very addicted to the competition, and retiring from sport became very difficult. I tried to retire in 2018 when I had elbow surgery, but I couldn't. So I came back. And then now, luckily for me, I had a great support from my national federation and from our president, Mr. Antonio. And I've been encouraged to become an ITO, which helped me a lot with my decision to retire. Being an ITO gives me a great opportunity to be a part of weightlifting community and actually see the competition from a different view. It is very nice to be still be a part of competition after you retire. And I live all kinds of emotions when I'm there and I'm looking at the people competing. And it reminds me about me when I was young. And it is just something what I advise everyone to do, because you can live those emotions when you've been a professional athlete, but from different view, from the inside, which is great. And you also meet very nice people. You're making new friends. So it's exactly like in a competition, but is the other side. So I don't know. I'm so grateful for doing that, and I really, really enjoy refereeing the competitions.
Natalia, your president, he recognized the moment in the picture. He says it's when you give red signal to Moldovan athlete.
Well, yes, unfortunately, I did for my athlete, not my athlete, my teammate maybe, but it was the right decision. There was a press out, so we have to follow the rules.
Exactly, and I love it.
And I am also a weightlifting coach, where I can pass all my knowledge to my athletes. I have few master athletes, and I've been a coach in Azerbaijan. I still keep in touch with my girls, some of them. And yes, I'm still living my dream. And now I have different goals to set. And it is just not a finish when you're retiring. You still can be a part of what you love. And I would love to thank my national federation for all great support during these 15 years. And of course, my lovely coaches, Kozhikaru Maxim and Kretsu Sergei, for being the best coach for me. I know what a difficult person I am. And I know sometimes I was crying and exploding in a training, but they knew how to support me, and they made me to continue this journey for 15 years. And thank you, EWF, for great opportunity to show and speak about all my experience. I am forever grateful.
Thank you. We have another question. Do you
Yes,
think to be a better referee because you have been athlete before, as somebody who never lifted before himself?
I don't think I can be better, because you can learn all the rules. So if you there are many seminars, as we had earlier on, where they speaking about all the rules. So it's not necessarily you need to be a ex-weightlifter, and it doesn't mean you will be better one. It's all about learning.
It's, I think, the same, that because you have been an athlete, it's not necessarily you will be a good coach. Now, in your situation it is, but I could never coach. I'm excellent with children, but I don't know how to coach them in a long period. But I see myself as a good referee because I have interest in it. So yeah, it's not, you could be a good referee because you have been an athlete, but it's not necessarily. So
Yeah. Yes, that's true, because we're all learning, and even my coach said I wasn't a great athlete, but I can make great athletes. So that's what it is. And thank you for your attendance and for diploma and certificates of attending this seminar. Please write office@ewf.sport. Your country, your name, and your surname. And if there are more than one from the same country, please write one email with all participants. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions?
We don't have any more questions, but we have lots of thank you and great tips and good advices. And thank you for sharing personal experience, very, very valuable. And it was a very personal presentation, because you told a lot what happens to you if you do like this, and if you do like this, then it helps you. So thank you so much for bringing us inside the head of Natalia. It was really fantastic. So if no one else has to say anything more, then I would like to say thank you so much, Natalia, and you can all see it on YouTube very soon. And please send this to your athletes from the countries. We have had 70 participants today. It's fantastic, but as I can see, it's lots of ITOs, which is very important for us also to know what is going on and how you prepare. But I would have loved if we had had 200 participants with athletes trying to get some tips from you. But we will put it on YouTube, and then it's possible to see it there. So again, there's a lot of thank you to you. Thank you so much, Natalia. And it was a really pleasure. And this was all from us now. You have to wait until the autumn. Then I think we will do some more technical online seminars. We will soon be ready with our videos with some short rules explaining how to wear the clothes and the belt and everything. They will be ready very soon, so watch them when they are published. And I would just like to say have a great summer. And for all of you who are going to Moldova and Romania later on, see you very soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, Natalia. Thank you, Tina.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.